Howdy folks, Sapper here with another installment of Next War Poland Strategic Surprise Scenario Turn 7, and we have made it up to the first supply phase. And I've been having a little bit of trouble doing this video. This will be my third try at it. Every time I've finished it up, the video has been turned sideways and I can't rotate it. There's no way I can rotate it. And I don't want to post it because, well, actually I did post it once before I figured out it was sideways. And then the second time I did it, I looked at it and it was still sideways. And, I'm not going to make you guys, watch a sideways video because that's just garbage. Even though I did have one posted already that was like that. But, hey, whatever. So anyway, I've got a new setup as far as the camera goes. I was using a small tripod. It was one of those Gorilla tripods. And it's got the little flexible legs on it and everything. And it was great. I mean, it served its purpose, but, number one, it was in the way. And then number two, when you had to strategically place the legs because you didn't want them to hit all these chits. So sometimes it was hard to get the angle you wanted. Or, and it was only about 6 or 8 inches tall. So, it was always this close to the map. And now with my new setup, I can get pretty far out. So basically what I've got is that used to be a lamp. And I cut the lamp was right here. The lamp head was right here. I cut the lamp off and then I mounted this camera clamp and this cell phone holder. So it articulates and it'll move back and forth and all that good stuff. So, and then I can get in real close, or I can move it way above the map. So, if I mounted it right now, we'd be looking at something kind of like that. So that's my new setup, and hopefully it works pretty good. I've been having pretty decent luck with it, except for the whole video thing. So, and then to kind of show you the rest of my setup. So here you got the table with all my stuff on it. There's the map. Got my dice, got cubes, got some markers, terrain effects chart. I've got these chit cups that I can use to blindly draw reinforcements as well as clearing markers. Got units here. Counter tray, tweezers, more markers, all the player aid cards and the rules. And then I've got these set of cards here that are laminated. These I pulled off the files section of the Board Game Geek. I don't remember who made them, but they're awesome. So this one's Special Forces. This one covers airborne and amphibious assaults. This one covers strikes and close combat support missions. And this one is just a sheet where you can track all your column shifts and all of your die roll modifiers and come up with a, where is it? Nope, wrong side. So here we go. So it determines your odds, all your column shifts, all your combat support modifiers, all your DRMs, and then you got your final results right there. And then it's even got some of your other stuff too that is on there. So it's all in a convenient spot. And the other side, you can do clearing operations, strikes, SOF raids, advanced ADF, air-to-air combat. So this is, I really like this one. And then that's my speaker. Then I got this order of battle. It kind of shows you who belongs to what, which is important for headquarters. Who's subordinate to who, and especially with the Russians. And then it shows you here who's subordinate to who. It's pretty easy for some of the guys, but then other ones it's really difficult for. So, for example, here's one right here that is kind of confusing. So you have that headquarters, and then both of these units are subordinate to that headquarters there. So let's say that who are these dudes? This is the 2nd Division, 16th POM, whatever POM is. So if this headquarters is gone, these guys right here, these 4 units
can still be subordinate to that headquarters. So, and then you've got some weird NATO units like the, I don't remember what that one stands for, but so these guys here, I believe, I have to look at it again. Oh no, it's these guys. This headquarters, these guys are subordinate to that headquarters. And then you've got some other confusing ones like Rapid Reaction Corps. Over here, you got the French-German Corps. It shows you what units, these 4 units only of the two French and the 2 Germans are subordinate to the French-German headquarters, and then you got your Rapid Reaction Corps, and all those units are subordinate. So these are awesome and they help, and you can also find these in the files section. And then of course I've got my Litco tokens that I use quite a bit, and you've seen those. So I got green for US. I've got the light blue. The light blue, that's dark blue. You can't tell on the table, but yeah, there you go. Hold it up to the light. So I got the light blue and the dark blue for allies, and then I've got the red for the Russians. And then the arrows I use to kind of show movement, and then the double arrows I kind of use to show where attacks happened. And then I've got these diamonds. So the way I use the diamond is it just helps me as a reminder for supply. So for example, on a normal turn, non-storm, non-overcast, or non-storm turn, for example, the Belarusians, it is 6 motorized movement points from the Belarusian map edge. You can trace supply. So how I do this is, so we've got here, so 6 MPs on a primary road. It's a half movement point per. So you got half 1, half 2, half 3, half 4, half 5. So I just write the number 5 on there, and that lets me know that to this spot right here, it's going to cost me 5 movement points. Or it's 5 movement points for supply purposes. So as long as I have Belarusian units within 2 here, or even here, they're in supply. Now headquarters can extend that by another 4. So the headquarters can then, let's say the headquarters was here, they could move 5 motorized movement points farther out. So that's kind of the way that works. And then I just have them all over the map. Like there's one there, there's one here, there's one here. So that just helps me. The Russians, I need that with the Russians more so than the Allies. And then the other tokens that I have these hexes that basically, so there's 4 of these on the board. There's that one, there's these 2 here, and then there's the one up there. So if the Russians ever control all 4 of these, they win the game automatically. And I bought these orange ones just in case the Russians do make it that far. I really don't see them making it that far, so it is what it is. So now on to the game. So basically, this was an overcast turn. So basically supply is not going to be an issue for the Allies or the Russians. Let's see here. So air superiority, you can see there's a lot of Allied planes in the air superiority box and only 4 in the Russian box. So basically that translated into supremacy. So the Allies have air supremacy and they have an AWACS advantage of 4, which basically makes it pretty easy for the Allies to conduct air operations almost at will. So that would mean strikes as well as combat support. We can also see, that the naval situation of the Southern Baltic is going to be increasingly worse for the Russians. A viewer pointed out, I think it was Patience Zero, pointed out that these Marines over here, and you can see them right there, they were out of supply last turn. And he made the comment that a beachhead serves as a supply source, and he is correct. But there are two situations where that is not the case. So last turn, if you recall, was a storm turn. So during a storm turn, a beachhead does not serve as a source of supply because, you know, all the naval units have to, if you have naval units in an inshore box, they have to go to an all-sea hex or, not all-sea, at-sea hex, or they have to go to a friendly port. So the naval supply, you can't supply the beachhead via naval support. Also, this box was, last turn, it was controlled by the Russians. So a beachhead does not count as a supply source if it is a storm turn or if the inshore box is not friendly controlled. It was not friendly controlled last turn. So those Marines were in fact out of supply. Well, this turn I rolled for control. The Allies did get control of that inshore box, and it is also an overcast turn. So now those Marines are in supply and they are ready to kick some ass. So that's pretty much what's going on this map. There's not going to be a lot of movement. These guys will end up moving, and these guys over here end up moving, but I'm not quite at that phase yet. But let me show you kind of what happened in the Special Forces phase. All right, so during the Special Operations Forces phase, the Russians had 6 forces to use, and the Allies had 5. So the Russians, so right here they raided right here and destroyed that airfield. There was no collateral damage, so no planes were destroyed at the time, but they destroyed that airfield. There we go, now we can get both of them. So they also conducted a raid, not on the helicopter, but on the airfield that's there. They did manage to cause have a strike 2 result on it. And then this air base over here, they raided that, and there was no effect on that. And let's see what else. All right, then the Allies also conducted a raid on that airfield and did a strike 2. There was collateral damage, which resulted in 1 Polish air unit being reduced or taking a step loss. And then they also targeted 2 of the NATO holding box air bases, but they were not successful. So of the 6 raids, Special Forces raids that took place, you have to roll for survival of the mission, of the soldiers in the mission. 2 of them they did not survive the raid. So they conducted 6 missions and came back with 4 units instead of all 6. So then the Allies, it was their turn. So they attempted a raid on that mobile supply unit and were not successful. This headquarters here was already detected in the headquarters detection phase, so we wanted to do a targeting mission on it to make it easier for airstrikes to target it, but the Special Forces were unsuccessful in targeting that unit or that headquarters. The NATO or the Allies also targeted or attempted to raid that mobile supply unit and were unsuccessful. The Allies raided that mobile supply unit and caused a strike 2 on it. Okay, you are not out of supply. So they caused a strike 2 result on that.
And then, let me see, there's one more. And that is that headquarters. It was already detected, and they wanted to target that, and they were unsuccessful in their targeting. So I know that some of you might have questions as to, well, what the heck is a strike result, and how does that affect the game? So basically, a strike result is kind of like a step loss, but not really. I mean, it has some of the same effects, but they're not permanent, or they don't last. So, for example, all right, so we've got this guy here, right? So you see the numbers across the bottom, the 3, 4, 4. That's attack, movement, or attack, defense, and movement. So attack, defense, and movement. And then you've got the 1 in the circle, which is the stacking limits, or the stacking factor. How many? It affects the stacking limit. So a normal hex, I think you can have up to 4. So that contributes 1 towards it. And then you have the 7 over to the right-hand side, which is the efficiency rating. So if you look on the back, all right, when a unit is reduced, it affects the efficiency rating, which dropped to a 6, and then the attack and defense factors, which each drop by 1. So that's a normal unit. It's full strength side and it's reduced side. Well, when a unit's reduced, you can, during the reinforcement and replacement phase, you can spend supply points or replacement points to flip it back over to its full strength size. And that's the only way to get it back to its full strength size. If you don't spend the supply points or the replacement points, then it'll be reduced until the game is over with or it's destroyed. Well, what a strike marker does, so if you look here on this table here, so a strike 1, if a ground unit has a strike 1, then it reduces the attack, the defense, the movement allowance, and the efficiency rating by 1. And then also you can see it cannot move during exploitation or elite reaction phase. A strike 2 reduces the attack, defense, movement allowance, and efficiency rating by 2. And then it still can't move during those phases, and it also can't use airborne, air mobile, or sea transport. Well, the strike markers during the reinforcement and replacement phase, or the reorganization phase, strike 1 markers are automatically removed. And then strike 2 markers are flipped over to the strike 1 size or side. So basically, it's kind of like a temporary step loss. And then, of course, if you get a X result, so if you have a strike 2 marker on a unit and then it receives another strike 1, then you cause a step loss. So that's kind of how they work. They're kind of like temporary step losses. And then, of course, naval units can receive strike markers, airfields and air bases can receive them, and then, of course, at the end of the turn, you turn strike 2s to strike 1s, and then you turn strike 1s into, you just remove them. So that's kind of how strike markers work. It's just it's a way of getting a little bit more depth in the game, which I kind of like. So that's how it works. So that's it through the supply phase as well as the Special Operations Forces phase, and then we'll get into movement and combat and some other fun stuff. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this is the last time I record this particular video again, because I'm getting kind of tired of doing that. But, that's the way technology is sometimes. Technology is great when it works, and then it makes you want to pull your hair out and punch holes in walls and stuff when it does not work. So anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend, and thanks for watching.